Twisted Metal Season 3, predictions, plot, cast, and everything we know so far. With the explosive Season 2 finale of Twisted Metal still fresh in fans' minds, the anticipation for Season 3 has never been higher. Based on the iconic PlayStation video game series, Peacock's Twisted Metal has carved out a wild, unpredictable, and emotionally charged niche in the TV world. With brutal vehicular battles, dark humor, and deeper-than-expected character arcs, the show continues to push boundaries. Although Twisted Metal Season 3 hasn't been officially greenlit by Peacock, signs point toward a likely return, potentially premiering in 2027 if production timelines align. From shocking twists to character shifts, here's a detailed breakdown of what fans can expect from Season 3 and everything that's happened so far.
I wish for all the walls to come down. In every city, everywhere.
Where we left off, Season 2 recap. Season 2 ended with a series of twists that flipped the entire narrative. The Twisted Metal tournament concluded with Stu winning, only to be punished for his wish in true Calypso fashion. Instead of finding peace with his deceased friend Mike, Stu was launched into orbit aboard a shuttle, stranded alone with Mike's body. A darkly hilarious yet horrifying fate that paid tribute to the franchise's game roots. Meanwhile, John Doe, Quiet, and Mayhem escaped the rubble of the destroyed arena and sought refuge in John's secluded family cabin. For a brief moment, peace seemed possible, but the illusion was shattered when Calypso returned with a vengeance. Using doctored footage and a warped version of Quiet's wish to bring down the walls, he framed John and Quiet for the bombing of the Twisted Metal arena. Suddenly, the fragile truce between insiders and outsiders dissolved into open warfare, with John and Quiet branded as terrorists and public enemies number one. The shocking finale twist, Krista becomes Minion. The most jaw-dropping moment came at the end of the finale when Minion, a heavily armored, monstrous opponent, attacked the group. Quiet was injured, and John confronted the beast head-on. In a brutal fight, John tore off Minion's mask, only to discover it was his own sister, Krista, now reanimated and transformed into a weapon under Calypso's control. The merging of Dollface and Minion into one terrifying character is a bold departure from the source material and sets the stage for emotional and moral complexity in Season 3. Krista's eyes flickered at the end, suggesting she may still be conscious inside Minion's monstrous shell, adding a tragic layer to her villain arc. What to expect in Season 3, plot predictions. With John and Quiet on the run, Season 3 will likely shift into a darker, war-torn landscape where outsiders are being hunted en masse. The framing of the duo by Calypso gives the government justification to begin eradicating outsiders entirely. What was once a vehicle-based blood sport has evolved into full-scale oppression, and now resistance. John is now on a mission to hunt down Calypso, not just to clear his name, but to avenge Krista's fate. The emotional weight of his sister's twisted transformation is likely to consume him. Season May 3rd explore how John balances vengeance with his moral compass, and whether he can still be the good man Quiet and Mayhem believe in. Meanwhile, Quiet's vow to tear down the walls that divide the world hasn't been fulfilled. Her arc may become more radical as she joins the fight to liberate the outsiders. Mayhem, now emotionally attached to John and Quiet as her found family, will have even more at stake. The dynamics between the trio are set to deepen further. Stu's return to Earth, a game changer? In classic Twisted Metal fashion, Stu's bizarre journey into space wasn't the end. Somehow learning to pilot the shuttle, he makes a dramatic re-entry to Earth and bursts through the cabin door, ready to help, but still very much Stu. His comedic presence could be a wild card, offering moments of levity, but also causing chaos in tense situations. Whether he becomes a real asset or a liability will be something to watch. Calypso's next moves. Calypso remains the most enigmatic and dangerous figure in the series. He's a master manipulator who twists wishes into nightmares. The Season 2 flashbacks even showed a surreal scene of him pitching Twisted Metal to NBC execs, a fourth wall-breaking moment that underscores his godlike control over this universe. Now that he's successfully framed John and reignited conflict, his motives seem more sinister than ever. His supernatural abilities are only beginning to be explored. Season May 3rd finally delve into the true extent of his powers and history, potentially making him more than just a charismatic villain, but a literal force of chaos. The rise of Minion. Will Krista break free? Actress Tiana Okoye, who plays Krista Dollface Minion, confirmed in interviews that there's still a part of Krista left inside Minion. This opens the door for one of the most emotionally complex arcs in Season 3. With the roles reversed, it may be John trying to pull Krista back from the brink, instead of Krista trying to help John remember their past. If Krista regains control from within, her inner conflict could lead to either redemption or even more devastation. Her loyalty to Calypso might be tested, especially if fragments of her old self start resurfacing. Mayhem's role in the coming war. Mayhem, introduced in Season 2, quickly became a fan favorite. As a chaotic but loyal member of the group, her deepening bond with John and Quiet could evolve into a fierce, protective role. She's finally found a semblance of family, and she's not going to lose it easily. She might also become a central figure in uniting other outsiders, rallying a resistance against the Insiders regime. Her willingness to take risks, combined with her unpredictable nature, makes her a potential leader or even a martyr figure depending on where the narrative goes. Sweet Tooth and his father. A new threat emerges. Despite the chaos, Sweet Tooth survived the finale and was last seen entering the Eastern Sovereignty region with his long-lost father. The implications are huge. Sweet Tooth, already one of the most dangerous figures in the world, now has a familial connection that could either stabilize or further unhinge him. If his father turns out to be an even scarier, more strategic version of Sweet Tooth, the duo could become a major force in Season 3. Alternatively, if their relationship sours, it may set up a battle between two unhinged killers. Will there be a cast reset? Given the nature of the Twisted Metal universe, Season 3 could introduce an entirely new location with fresh characters. However, the core cast, Anthony Mackie, John Doe, Stephanie Beatriz, Quiet, Sailor Bell Curta, Mayhem, Mike Mitchell, Stu, Tiana Okoye, Krista / Minion, and Samoa Joe / Will Arnett, Sweet Tooth, are all likely to return. Anthony Carrigan's performance as Calypso is too crucial to lose, so expect him back as the main antagonist. Actor Michael James Shaw may also return as Axel, given his connection to Mayhem and unresolved storyline. Some characters, like Mr. Grimm, Vermin, and Frostbite, may not return, given that the Twisted Metal tournament has ended. But with the world expanding into new regions and conflicts, there's ample room for new allies and villains to enter the fray. Final thoughts. A road war awaits. If Season 1 was about rediscovery and Season 2 was about identity, then Season 3 of Twisted Metal is poised to be about revolution. The fragile balance between freedom and control has been obliterated. With Calypso rewriting the rules and turning the world against its outsiders, our protagonists will have to fight not just for survival, but for justice, redemption, and revenge. Fans may have to wait until 2027 for answers, but based on the foundation laid in Season 2, Twisted Metal Season 3 promises to be a brutal, high-octane, emotionally rich continuation that stays true to its chaotic roots, while raising the stakes to new, dystopian heights. Stay tuned. The engines are just warming up.